133 inch.
Oh, that sounds a bit like it's...
Why does it sound like that?
You got the gain too high, for one. The gain is the dial on the microphone. Okay, yep, we're probably live now.
Good morning, Hare Krishna, Dandavata Tuti. Welcome to the morning program in London, Sri Chaitanya SCSMath. And I think we're going to continue, we never have enough time, but I think we'll continue with Chaitanya Charitamrita. Merry Christmas, by the way, to everyone. Time a lot of you will be with families and friends. Happy time of year. And we are together with our family and friends here and in the temple. And we are going to continue the 10th chapter of the Antya-lila, Mahaprabhu Puri. And we're on verse 133. And Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Jai Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda,
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai.
What was it? 133, did you say?
133, yes, I think so. And yesterday, was it yesterday, we heard of all the prashadam that the devotees had brought from Mahaprabhu, and they filled the whole corner of the room, but Mahaprabhu wasn't eating it, and Govinda had to keep lying to the devotees who kept asking, has Mahaprabhu tried my preparation? And it came to Mahaprabhu and expressed his desire that Mahaprabhu would take the prashadam, which he subsequently did. Enough for 100 men. Hare Krishna. So anyway, wonderful pastimes of the Lord in Nila Chalanam. So 133. Emata Mahaprabhu Bhakta Gana Sanghe Chatumasya Goraila Krishna Katharande. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent the entire period of Chatumasya, 4 months of the rainy season, in the happiness of discussing topics of Krishna with his devotees.
Well, you just think like how much time have they spent? 4 months he spent with it, but we don't hear any of those conversations, right? Like there's so much going on which we're not.
Yes, the infinite.
So many things.
Right.
Yeah, that's why Krishnadas Kaviraj is always saying, pastimes with Mahaprabhu are infinite.
Yes. Bellissima. Madhye Madhye Acharyade Kare Nimantrana Ghare Bhakta Rande Ara Vivida Vyanjana. From time to time, Advaita Acharya and others would invite Mahaprabhu for home-cooked rice and varieties of vegetables. Hare Krishna. Mari Chala Chala Ara Maduram La Ara Ada Lavaya Lembu Dugda Dadi Kandashara Shaka Duichari Ara Shukutara Jhala Nimba Vataki Ara Brista Patola fried pottle. They offered pungent preparations made with black pepper, sweet and sour preparations, ginger, salty preparations, limes, milk, yogurts, sugar candy, 2 or 4 kinds of spinach, soup made with bitter lemon, bitter melon, eggplant mixed with neem leaves and fried butter. Not finished yet. Rishta full Bhariyara Mukta Dhari Shupa Vivida Vyanjana Rande Prabhuda Ruchi Anurupa. Prabhuda Ruchi Anu. Very tasteful for Mahaprabhu. They also offered alavari, liquid mung dal, and many vegetables, all cooked according to the Lord's taste. Jagannathera prasada ani karite mishrita, mixing it together. Kaneka jailena kahan ghanara sahita. They would mix these preparations with the remnants of food from Lord Jagannath. When Mahaprabhu accepted the invitations, he went sometimes alone and sometimes with his associates. Acharya Ratna, Acharya Nidhi, Nandana, Raghava, Shivas Adijata Bhakta, Viprasabha. So we understand all the names, and Viprasabha is all Brahmins. All Brahmins. Acharya Ratna, Acharya Nidhi, Nandana Acharya, Raghava Pandit, and Shivas were all of the Brahmin caste. Mata Nimantrana Karena Jatnakari Vasudeva Gadadhara Dasa Gupta Murari Kulini Grami Kandavasi Arajata Jan Jagannathera Prasada Ani Kare Nimantran. So we get most of that. I think they would extend invitations to the Lord. Vasudeva Dat Gadadhara Das Murari Gupta, the inhabitants of Kulina Gram and Kanda, and many other devotees who were not Brahmanas by caste, but would purchase food offered to Lord Jagannath and then extend invitations to Mahaprabhu. And Srila Prabhupada says in his purport that Mahaprabhu observed the etiquette then current in society by accepting only prasadam cooked by members of the Brahmin caste. But on principle, he accepted invitations from his devotees regardless of whether they were Brahmanas. Shivananda Senera Shuna Nimantrana Kyana Shivanandera Bharaputrera Chaitanya Dasa Nama. Now hear about the invitation Shivananda Sen extended to the Lord. His eldest son was named Chaitanya Das. Prabhure Milaite Tana Sange Anila Milaile Prabhutana Nama Ta Uchila. When Shivananda brought his son Chaitanya Das to be introduced to the Lord, Mahaprabhu inquired about his name. Chaitanya Dasa Nama Shuni Kahe Gorarai Tiba Nama Dharanacha Bhujana Najai. Bhujana Na Jaya cannot be understood. When the Lord heard that his name was Chaitanya Das, he said, "What kind of name have you given him? It's very difficult to understand." Senakai Jai Janilun Se Nama Tarila Etavali Mahaprabhure Nimanchana Kaila. Shivananda Sen replied, "He has kept the name that appeared to me from within." Then he invited Mahaprabhu for lunch. Jagannathera Bahu Mulya Prashada Anaila. Very costly. Bahu Mulya. Bhakta Ganilaya Prabhu Bhojana Vashila. Shivananda Sen had brought very costly remnants of Lord Jagannath's food. He brought it in and offered it to Mahaprabhu, who sat down to accept the prasadam with his associates. Just in time for prasadam. Shivanandera Gaurave Prabhu Karila Bhojana Ati Guru Bhojani Prabhura Prashana Nahimana. Because of Shivananda Sen's glories, Mahaprabhu ate all kinds of prasadam to honor his request. However, the Lord ate more than necessary, and therefore his mind was dissatisfied. Oh dear. Aradina Chet Ati Guru Bhojane, because of eating too much. Ati Guru Bhojane. The next day, Chaitanya Das, the son of Shivananda Sen, extended an invitation to the Lord. He could understand the Lord's mind, however, and therefore he arranged for a different type of food. Aradina Chaitanya Dasa Kaila Nimanchana Prabhuda Abhishta Bhuji Anila Yanchana Tadi Lembu Ada Pula Bada Labana Samagri Dekya Prabhu Prashana Hoilamana. He offered yogurt, limes, ginger, soft butter, and salt, not hard butter, soft butter, and salt. Seeing all these arrangements, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased. And Srila Prabhupada says, by the grace of Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Das understood the Lord's mind, therefore he arranged for food that would counteract the heavy meal the Lord had eaten the previous day. Because it said it was costly, didn't it? So costly means rich, basically, doesn't it? Later in life, Chaitanya Das became a very learned Sanskrit scholar and wrote many books. Among these books, his commentary on Krishna Karnamrita is very famous. Wow. There is another book called Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is a work of Sanskrit poetry. It is said this was also composed by him. Anyway, back to the Nimantran, the invitation. Prabhu kai e balaka amara mata jane santushta hailanami ihara nimantrane. Mahaprabhu said, this boy knows my mind. Therefore, I am very satisfied to accept his invitation. Etabali dhadi bhata karila bhojana Chaitanya dasera dila uchishta bhojana. The remnants, uchishta bhojana. After saying this, the Lord ate the rice mixed with yogurt and offered Chaitanya Das the remnants of his food. Charimasa e mata niman chanjai kona kona vaishnava divasa nai pai. The 4 months of Chaturmasya passed in this manner, with the Lord accepting invitations from his devotees. Because of a heavy schedule of invitations, however, some of the Vaishnavas could not get an open day on which to invite the Lord. Oh dear. Gadadhara Pandit Bhattacharya Sarvabhauma Yas Inasavara Ache Bikshara Divasa Niyama. Every month, Gadadhar Pandit and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had fixed dates on which Mahaprabhu would accept their invitations. Gopinathacharya, Jagadananda Kashishvara, Bhagavan, Ramabhadracharya, Shankara, Bakrishvara, Madhya Madhya Gharavate Kari Nimantrana, Anyara Nimantrane Prashada Kauri Duipana. So all those devotees who we just mentioned extended invitations to Mahaprabhu and offered him food cooked at home, whereas other devotees would pay 2 panas of small conch shells to purchase Jagannath Prasadam and then invite the Lord. What a culture. Hare Krishna. Pratame Achala Nirbhanda Kauri Charipana Ramachandra Puri Paya Gataila Nimanchana. At first, the cost of Jagannath Prasadam for an invitation was 4 panas of conch shells, but when Ramachandra Puri was there, the price was cut in half.
Because it's criticizing.
Chari Masharahi Gaurera Bhakte Vidaya Dila Nila Chalera Sangi Bhakti Sangyara Hila. The devotees who came from Bengal stayed with Mahaprabhu for 4 consecutive months, and then the Lord bade them farewell. After the Bengali devotees departed, the devotees who were the Lord's constant companions at Jagannath Puri stayed with the Lord. Eta Kailam Prabhura Bhikkani Manchana Bhakta Datta Vastu Yache Kaila Ashvadana. Thus, I have described how Mahaprabhu accepted invitations and how he accepted and tasted the prasadam offered by his devotees. Taramati Ragavera Jali Vivarana Tare Madhya Pari Munda Nritya Katana. In the midst of that narration are descriptions of Raghava Pandit's bags of food and the dancing in the temple of Jagannath. Shraddha Kari Shune Ye Chaitanya Katha Chaitanya Charani Prema Paive Sarvata. What are we getting from there?
Those hearing with faith are inundated in an ocean of, what was it?
Some prema.
Prema.
Exactly that. Shraddha Kari Shune. So you can't just listen. What have you got to listen with?
Ears.
Faith. Shraddha Shune Kari Ye Chaitanya. This Chaitanya Katha. Chaitanya Charane. The lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. Prema. Paibe. Must. Paibe Sarvata. Without fail.
Must achieve.
Without fail. One who hears about the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with faith and love, Shraddha, will certainly attain ecstatic love for the lotus feet of Srimad Mahaprabhu without fail.
Jai.
Jai.
Just needs the faith.
Jai.
Oh, it's always the,
Okay,
that's
okay.
always the problem, isn't it?
God, it's always a downer. Hare Krishna. Yes. Well, so we pray for that. Pray for beautiful Shraddha Devi. Hare Krishna. Shunite Amrita Sama Juraya Kan Amana Se Bhagavana Ye Kari Asvadana. Shunite, to hear. Amrita Sama, just like nectar. Juraya Kan Amana, satisfies the ears and mind. Narrations of Mahaprabhu's activities are just like nectar to hear. Or you could just say, Shunita Amrita Sama. Anyway, so beautiful and elegant. Indeed, they satisfy both the ears and mind. One who tastes the nectar of these activities is certainly very fortunate. Shirupa Raghunatha Pare Jarasha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kare Krishnadasa. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. So we've come to the end of chapter 10 of the Antya-lila, and we will begin the 11th chapter. Hare Krishna. Another beautiful chapter. Jai Shri Krishna Das Kavi Goswami Ki Jai,
Jai.
A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai. So that gives us some time to carry on with another beautiful Shastra, The Search for Sri Krishna, Reality, the Beautiful, by His Divine Grace Swami D.R. Shidhar, O you sons of nectar, sons of the nectarian ocean sea. You were born in nectar. You were born to taste nectar. You must not allow yourselves to be satisfied by anything but nectar. Awake, arise. Awake, arise. And search for that nectar. Search for Sri Krishna. Reality, the beautiful. Jai Guru Maharaj. We're on a chapter which I missed the beginning of. So we are joining in the middle of the chapter called Levels of God Realization. And if I just read the first paragraph of the chapter and then I'll skip to where we actually are in the chapter, just to set the tone. Guru Maharaj says, the gradation of transcendental realization has been explained by Srila Sanatana Goswami in his book.
Well, I'm checking.
Brihad
Bhagavatamrita. There we find that in the course of the realization of Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotional service, the great sage Narad Muni is visiting different places. First he encounters Kama Mishra Bhakti, or devotional service mixed with fruitive activity. So that's the very first paragraph of the chapter, so we can understand where something of where Guru Maharaj is taking us to. He's referring to the wondrous book of the Brihad Bhagavatamrita and what Srila Sanatana Goswami is explaining through those pastimes there. So now we've moved ahead a little bit, because now that whole first section is about Kama Mishra Bhakti, but now this next subheading is neutral love of God. Neutral. So he says, all these peculiar achievements in the devotional world begin with Prahlad Maharaj.
Because he was mentioning before that that's where Shuddha Bhakti begins.
Okay.
Because all the Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Kama
Right.
Mishra Bhakti is all these other personalities.
Okay.
But with
Thank you.
Prahlad Maharaj, yeah.
The nature of his devotional service, that's Prahlad Maharaj, is that of Shantarasa, neutrality, where there is no actual service but only perfect adherence to Narayan under all circumstances. Whatever may be the unfavorable condition in the environment, he stands true to the faith that Narayan is all in all and that he is our master. So Prahlad Maharaj and the four Kumaras, the sons of Lord Brahma, are in the position of Shantarasa Bhakti, or neutral love of God. Prahlad Maharaj is Narada Muni's disciple. Still, for our benefit, Narada Muni was approaching him to measure the standard of his devotion in a comparative study of the devotional world. Approaching Prahlad Maharaj, Narad said, I have come to see you, Prahlad, because Lord Shiva also appreciates your position. You are really a devotee of Lord Krishna. You are so fortunate. I have come to see how you are. Prahlad Maharaj told him, Gurudev, you are all in all. Have you come to test me? Whatever fortune I may have, I have received by your grace. I was born in a family of demons, so the demonic quality have not exclusively left me. Don't you know that in Namisharanya I went to fight with Lord Vishnu? I repent for that, but what can I do? He has given me such a position. I cannot have the privilege of direct service to him, but only mentally I think of him. I think that he is everything, but I do not have the great fortune of rendering service to him. Hanuman is really a devotee. How fortunate he is! What grace he has received! He gave everything to Lord Ramachandra. I envy his situation. But what can I do? God's dispensation is absolute. We must accept that. Hanuman's position is really enviable. How attached to his master he is. And what a great magnitude of service he has done for Lord Ram. So we continue in this divine progression, or you can say going higher, or you could say going deeper, couldn't you? Hanuman, servant of Ram. Jai. From there, Narad Muni went to visit Hanuman. He approached Hanuman's residence, playing on his veena the mantra Ram, 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 Ram. When Hanuman suddenly heard the name of his master, Lord Ram, he jumped towards that direction and even in the sky embraced Narada. Hanuman said, "Oh, who is helping me to hear the sound of Lord Ram's holy name? After such a long time, the sound of Ram Nam is enlivening me. I was dying without hearing the name of Ram." Ecstatic tears were running down the eyes of both of them. Then Narada Muni went to Hanuman's quarters and began to praise his fortune, saying, "Oh, how fortunate you are, oh Hanuman, you served Lord Ramachandra so intimately. You do not know anything but your master, Lord Ram. You rendered such great service to him that your service has become the ideal for the whole of human society." Jai Hanuman. Hanuman told Narada, "Yes, by his grace I was able to do something. But it's all his grace. I am nothing. I'm worthless. But I hear that now Lord Ramachandra has come as Lord Krishna. Although I don't like any incarnation other than Lord Ram, I have heard from a distance how Krishna, who is Ramachandra himself, is showing his favour to the Pandavas. The Pandavas are very fortunate because the Lord is dealing with them like an intimate friend. So I have great appreciation for the fortune of the Pandavas." In this way, Hanuman began to praise the Pandavas for their fortune. Next little section, Krishna's friends, the Pandavas. Leaving Hanuman, Narada Muni then went to the Pandavas. There he found Yudhishthira Maharaj seated on a throne and began to sing the glories of the Pandavas. He told Yudhishthira Maharaj how friendly you are in your relationship with Krishna, how fortunate you are. Yudhishthira Maharaj said, What are you saying, Devarishi? Of course Krishna favours us. We can't deny that. But what is our position? We have no position at all. On the other hand, I feel now and then that by seeing our example, the people in general won't want to serve Krishna because they will calculate that being such intimate friends of Lord Krishna, the Pandavas had to pass through difficult troubles and dangers their whole life. They will think that to be a devotee of Krishna means that one must suffer troubles throughout his whole life. So I'm afraid that by thinking of us, people will not venture to approach Krishna. Devarishi Narad said, no, I don't see it from that angle of vision. What is danger or affliction to the Pandavas? What's the meaning of that? That is the message that Krishna is coming. When the Pandavas are in danger, there is nothing. That is nothing but the message that Krishna is coming to save you. So your mother also prayed, Vipada Shantita Tashvat Tatra Tatra Jagadguru Bhavato Dashanam Yatsya apuna bhagadarshanam. Let dangers come. May they visit me always. I don't care for that, because that brings Krishna much closer to us. We rather like the dangers that bring Krishna into our intimate connection. That famous statement of your mother, Kunti Devi, stands there. Hare Krishna. The Pandavas, headed by Maharaj Yudhisthira, said, yes, Krishna visits us now and then, in the time of our dire need, but how fortunate are the Yadus? Lord Krishna is always with them. They are so proud of their master, Lord Krishna, that they do not care for any other power in the world. They are so fortunate that Lord Krishna is always closely connected to them. So Narada Muni went to the Yadus and began chanting in praise of them. They said, what do you say, Devarishi Narada? Krishna is with us, of course, and in any time of great danger, he comes to help us. But how much do we care for him? We are living independently, careless about his existence. But among us, Uddhava is really his favorite. Whatever Krishna does, he always consults with Uddhava. And in all his confidential matters, Uddhava is present there. And in every case. He's always very thick with Uddhava. Even we envy the fortune of Uddhava. That's an expression we don't use so much now. It's very good being thick with someone.
Yeah.
He's very thick with Uddhava, and we're a little bit envious of that, say the others. Uddhava, more dear than Krishna. Then Narada went to Uddhava and told him, Uddhava, you are the most fortunate devotee of Krishna. Krishna says, Natata me priyatama atmayonina shankaraha nacha shankashano nashir naivat macha yatavavan. O Uddhava, what to speak of other devotees like Brahma, Shiva, Shankashan or Lakshmi, you are more dear to me than my own life. That's the shloka. You are such an intimate associate that Krishna values you more than his own life. Uddhava said, yes, of course. Yes, of course. Out of his causeless benevolence, he might have said something like that. But I don't think that I'm his real devotee, especially after visiting Vrindavan. All my pride has been melted by seeing those devotees. The spirit of service and the intensity of love toward Krishna that I found in the devotees in Vrindavan is unparalleled. O Devarishi, I am nowhere. Do you know that statement of mine? It's recorded in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Asama ho charanareno jusham aham sham Vrindavane kimapi gulma latashadinam yadusya jam svajanamarya patam cha itva vejo makunda paravim shutidevi mrigyam. The gopis of Vrindavan gave up their husbands, children, and families who are difficult to remember, and sacrificed even their religious principles to take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, which are sought after even by the Vedas themselves. Oh, grant me the fortune to take birth as a blade of grass in Vrindavan, so that I may take the dust of the lotus feet of those great souls upon my head. And it's speaking Uddhava, there I have disclosed my heart fully. The quality of love for Krishna that I found in the damsels of Vrindavan is so exalted that I could not but aspire to be born in Vrindavan as a piece of grass, so that the foot dust of those divine damsels may touch my head. So what are you saying, Devarishi? If you would like to see real devotion, real divine love, you should go to Vrindavan. Don't put us in an awkward position saying that we possess devotion to Krishna. This is rather a mockery, a foundationless utterance. I found real devotees of the Lord in Vrindavan. In this way, Sanatana Goswami tries his best to take us through the path by showing us the gradual development of devotion to Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj has been accepted as the basis of Shuddha Bhakti, the beginning of pure devotional service, because he is situated in Shantaras, or devotional service in neutrality. Above that there is Dasyaras, love of God in servitude, as shown by Hanuman. And above that there is Shakyaras, or the mood of friendship. That is exemplified by the Pandavas. Uddhava is somewhat Sakya, connecting with Vatsalya. Uddhava is somewhat Sakya, connecting with Vatsalya, parental love, and Madhurya, conjugal love. In this way we can trace the progressive development of devotion. Our close adherence to Krishna develops in this way to Vrindavan. The acme of devotional service is found there. In the conversation between Ramananda Rai and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we find it mentioned that Radharani's devotional service is categorically higher than that of the gopis. Yavyasya Pashupala Pankaja Drishyata Gopi Saradhika. The kind of serving spirit we find there is unaccountable and inconceivable. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with that quality of adherence to the truth, unconditional surrender. He came seeking that fortune. He came seeking that fortune of serving the truth. If we can seek such a higher type of existence, we may consider ourselves most fortunate. Self-surrender is the very basis of our highest fortune. We cannot but surrender ourselves to whatever beautiful and valuable thing we have come across. Our appreciation for any higher thing is shown by the degree of our surrender to that. So we can measure the quality of the truth we are connected with only by the intensity of our surrender.
What a last paragraph. That's
Hare Krishna.
amazing.
Well, Abhinav Sundar is taking a picture of the paragraph.
Really? Read it again, please. Self-surrender.
Self-surrender is the very basis of our highest fortune. And literally, Sri Guru wrote the book. Prabhupada Jivanamrita.
Yeah.
Self-surrender is the very basis of our highest fortune. We cannot but surrender ourselves to whatever beautiful and valuable thing we have come across. Our appreciation for any higher thing is shown by the degree of our surrender to that. So we can measure the quality of the truth we are connected with only by the intensity of our surrender. Hare Krishna. So that concludes that relatively short chapter where Srila Guru Maharaj takes us so far into those worlds of devotion and planes of faith, and then beautifully brings us back to the transcendent reality that is the primary position and the absolute necessity and the beginning of everything, lying in Sharanagati, well, to go to one's home, literally, let me say, surrender.
What is that home?
That land of absolute freedom that comes with absolute adherence. Very, very counterintuitive, really, that by surrender, then actually all possibilities then are open and all freedom is common. That to move with and in service to that divine beauty and that divine Lord. So, so this is always the central, one of the central messages of Guru Maharaj's message. But without that, it's all just become some kind of theatre, some kind of something.
He was using the word sahaja.
Yes, I mean,
Like
yes.
without the surrender
sahaja.
bit.
Hmm?
Without the surrender bit.
Yes, without the surrender. Yes, that's it. Exactly. We just read that. Without the surrender, we become sahaja. Used in the prakriti, when we use it in the prakriti sahaja, meaning an imitation. Yeah, it's just an imitation. I'll stick some clay on my head and have a few books on this. Do all these things, but it's just a show without that. At least, you know. Well, every song we sing practically, Kandiya, you know, we've got to be Kandiya, haven't we? Kandiya, Kandiya, Bodhiyami Toya Dhamma, Shikaya Sharanagati Koro Itama. That without that, there's just a whole lot of deception, self-deception, and yeah. Just a game. So Guru Maharaj keeping it real, and not just real, but real reality, the beautiful, that kind of real. He keeps it. And then we have another beautiful chapter, Krishna Conception. The Krishna Conception is our next chapter, which we will save tomorrow. It's also quite a short chapter, so that's another one we can do in one sitting, which is very nice, and then we can follow Guru Maharaj's thread from the beginning to the end. These are talks. Guru Maharaj did not, I mean, he did sit down and compose literature, but not these books that Gurudev considered deities. Guru Maharaj considered deities. These were just his natural flow, the flow of his Krishna Katha, the flow of his realization just spilling out, drawn out by Srila Govinda Maharaj and the devotees, and Guru Maharaj just flowing, and then captured in the form of I think reel-to-reel tapes maybe originally, and then cassette tapes. I think I remember that. Anyway, captured in tape. And then by Sripad Goswami Maharaj and Mahayogi Maharaj at that time, edited and made into these books. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Bhakti Rakha Srila Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. And the Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai.
Jai.
This beautiful, living, shining Ujjvala current that's coming down as it likes, where it likes, and how it likes, and is expressed so perfectly and wonderfully by our divine guardians. So, Jai to all our guardians. So we can sing. Didi, can you sing for us? Hari Hare Rama Krishna Janavai Rama? If you've got a book. Oh, there's a book. Golda, Golda, Golda. Golda Hari.
Hari
Hare Rama Krishna Nityananda Radha Giridhari Ji ki jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Rakak Siddhadev Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai.
Jai.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Tutti devoti ki jai. Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Gaura Premanande. Hari Bol.